I'm sure when you saw the title of this, you had one thought: what on earth is Code Lyoko? And it's that old French cartoon from the early 2000s with the big foreheads. It's kind of infamous for that. It's honestly a super good show, but people just kind of discount it because of the whole forehead thing, and that's not fair. It's much more than just a slightly weird character design choice. Let me set the premise for you. A group of kids are fighting an artificial intelligence named Xana. We're not entirely sure what Xana wants to do. It's never explicitly stated, but it will kill anyone and everyone to get its goal. The kids fight it by going inside a virtual world called Lyoko. It's not just like their minds, like the Matrix or whatever. It's their whole body. Like, it's gone. They're not in the real world anymore. There's another AI that's on their side, named Aelita. She's my lovely pink daughter, and I love her. She lives in Lyoko. Unlike Xana, who's just kind of there on Lyoko, she has an actual avatar. She's also the one that actually stops Xana's attacks. Aelita goes inside the tower on Lyoko, and she inputs a code, and the attack stops in its tracks, and then they do this thing called a return to the past, which does exactly what it sounds like it does. It's not a complete magic do-over, because people die, they're still dead. Now that you know the basics, here's the cast. This is Yumi. She's a year older than all the other kids and lives off campus with her parents. On Lyoko, she looks like this. She also has telekinetic powers on Lyoko, which is cool. Up next is Odd, who's the one with the big hair, who didn't originally have that. He did it after the Origins episode. He's Ulrich's roommate at Caddick, which is their boarding school, and has a secret dog named Kiwi. There are many hijinks about Kiwi. On Lyoko, he's a cat boy. Ulrich is this guy, who has a bad relationship with his dad, as one does. And he's kind of a jock, and he does martial arts with Yumi at school. He and Yumi definitely like each other, but they don't get together because... drama. He looks like a samurai on Lyoko, and can make clones and run super fast. I don't know anything about Naruto, but he gives me Naruto vibes. Am I alone in that? I don't think I am. Aelita can use half her hit points to create things on Lyoko, and, spoilers, she's not actually an AI at all, but a real girl that got put in Lyoko 20 years ago and lost all of her memories. Then you have my boy, trans icon Jeremy. He's a smart kid who discovered Lyoko to begin with, instantly fell in love with Aelita, and figured out the extremely complicated supercomputer and return to the past, and virtualization, and all that stuff. He immediately got to work bringing Aelita to the real world, which was of course quite difficult because he didn't know she was a real girl. Aelita totally likes him back, but they never get together because, again, drama. Also, they're all like 13 or 14. Yumi's 15th birthday is in the final season, and halfway through season 1, it's mentioned they've been doing it for a year. I could probably sit down and figure out how much time is supposed to have passed, but let's just leave it at a couple years. So here's where things get complicated. They can actually set off Xana at any moment to stop putting the world in danger. But in doing so, they would lose Aelita. The return to the past is a powerful argument to not shut it off just yet, and at the same time, Xana is capable of doing quite a lot of terrible things, like nearly blowing up a power plant. Occasionally, someone outside the group finds out about everything, and their reactions are a little mixed. But either way, Return to the Past just undoes that because only people who've been to Lyoko know about the returns to the past. Xana's powers are never really explained, but here's a list of things it can do. It can, of course, control anything powered by electricity. It creates specters, which are these kind of smoky ghosts that can do whatever. Xana can possess people, who can now also shoot lightning from their hands. Xana can also control gas in a few episodes, and of course electrify people and take control of a fighter jet in an attempt to nuke the factory where the supercomputer is, and reverse gravity and send people flying up into space forever, and, you know, it goes on and on. If you can think of it, Xana can probably do it. Did I mention Xana can possess people? That's wild. Why can it do that? How does it do that? I guess French electricity is just different. At the end of season 1, Jeremy finally materializes Aelita. It's a joyous day. They get her set up in the real world through definitely less than legal means, and then they go shut down the supercomputer and end Xana once and for all and go on with their lives. As they deserve. But she immediately passes out because she is linked to Xana somehow or another. The overarching plot from there becomes to figure out what Xana did, fix it, and then turn the computer off. Also during the finale, Xana materializes enemies from Lyoko into the real world, so that's a new threat that we get to keep in mind. Alita also has to return to Lyoko, and because she's the one that always knows when Xana's attacked. Season 2 opens, and it's a great open. Jeremy has created vehicles so they can get around Lyoko faster than just running everywhere, as well as giving them a couple power-ups. He also creates a program to scan for Xana's attacks so Alita can live on Earth, again through less than legal means. Xana is also leveling up and made a new enemy, and a new mainish character is introduced, William. Then I won't spoil everything that happens with William, but it's kind of a lot, honestly. Like, a lot. And from the finale to the intro was like a month, if you're keeping track. Season 2 is also where they drop the episodic nature of the whole thing for a lot more plot, like Alita regaining her memories by finding things from her old life, and memories aren't exactly good. Xana is also targeting Alita with the Skepazoa, which if I have to say it again, it will be just called the jellyfish. Lots of Alita in the supercomputer's past is discovered, but I'm not going to spoil all of that for you. I'm trying to convince you to watch the show. After Season 2, we got the Origin episodes, which was pretty great, honestly. And then Season 3 opens with Jeremy giving Alita a real power-up, and Season 4 opens up with yet more power-ups, and also soft redesigns. He gives my daughter freaking wings. I love my angel daughter. Also, this is where I tell you that a couple years ago they started uploading the entirety of Code Lyoko to YouTube once a week, and now they have the entire thing up, like holy cow, when would your series ever do that? No Netflix, only YouTube, we die like men. It's also available in French, but there's no subs, which kinda sucks because I'd really love to watch it in French. Also, I love the theme song, I don't think I mentioned that, but I love it, it's great, listen to it. Okay, so I've been ignoring the elephant in the room for long enough, so I'll go ahead and throw it out here. There is a sequel series, Code Lyoko Revolution. Just don't watch it. It has its moments, but it's suddenly live action in the real world, but still CGI on Lyoko, and it's just pretty jarring. It would have been better as a reboot than a sequel, but they did upload it alongside the original series if you really want to watch it anyway. Instead of leaving you on that, I'll actually spoil a part where they get to be their Lyoko selves met in the real world back in the original series. It's pretty great. Also, there's a short little pilot thing, Garage Kids. It's like 5 minutes, and then they had their powers in the real world, which is pretty cool. Please disregard Ulrich's huge thighs in Lyoko in the pilot. I just love the bit on the roof because it's a fun aspect to explore. What if they had superpowers in the real world too? It's a bit much on top of everything else though, so I get why it got scrapped. It's time to get to the actual point of this video, which, while yes, it was just to inspire people to give Code Lyoko a chance, it's also because Jeremy deserves better and I'm here to rant about him for the rest of the video. There's lots of spoilers for specific episodes and some overarching plot going forward. I dunk on the rest of the crew a bit, but I still love him. Also, he's trans, fight me. So, here's the thing. Here is the thing. Jeremy is literally the guy that keeps the entire thing moving forward. Like, they can't go to Lyoko without him. They'd be stuck running around on foot and less powerful without him. And he's out here trying to outsmart a super smart adult man that invented time travel. Like, holy cow. Instead of being like, wow, that's super tough, Jeremy, they go, hey dude, you pulled an all-nighter? What's that about? Take a break. As though they wouldn't feel guilty for taking a break from doing things that could end the whole fight and, you know, let them go back to their normal lives. Like, he's the only one that can end the fight. And he has to be on top of school and everything else too. Like, come on. There's an entire episode where he's freaking out about how he's the only one who can get them in their vehicles on Lyoko, and nobody super cares about that. Of course, he's immediately taken out, because Xana knows it too, and then they're like, oh no, I guess we should have taken the smart kid seriously. And then they don't do the rest of the attack on their own. Jeremy is also the one that seems to have the best relationship with his parents. I've seen the Franz Hopper episode where his friends go, yeah, actually, you suck and we kind of hate you now. And he goes, okay then, I guess I'll go make my parents happy and transfer to the smart kids school. Only to realize in the final hour, the entire thing was an elaborate trap and he goes off to save him, nearly dies, and then nearly dies again, and then never even gets an apology for it? Like, what? And then his dad shows up after it's all over and he's just like, yeah, actually, I'm sorry, but I changed my mind. And his dad's totally chill about it. He's not even mad that you drove the whole way there to come get him. He's just like, alright, that's what you want, Jeremy. Like, dude, Jeremy, I want your dad, please give him to me. But by virtue of being the only one to handle all the Lyoko stuff, this also means he can't go home. Way back early in Season 1, he vandalizes school property, so he is forced to stay on campus during break. And given that this was Jeremy, that must have come as a huge shock to his parents. Like, what on earth did they think of that? I just can't shake the idea that his relationship with his parents suffers from all the Lyoko stuff, and given he had the best relationship with them to our knowledge, like, that has to hurt. He's the one losing sleep over Lyoko, he's the one trying to outsmart a man who invented time travel, and he's winning, and his friends just kind of shrug about it, and it just irks me. Let's also not forget the time that Mr. I Don't Go to Lyoko went to Lyoko because his friends were in danger, got attacked by Xana for his troubles, and a scene that kind of haunted my childhood, honestly. Like, he's absolutely the kid in the most danger because he's not on Lyoko. There's a reason that when Xana took control of a serial killer, he went from Jeremy, partly because he couldn't fight back, partially because of enemy of the enemy. Xana knows that it just needs to take out Jeremy to win, and Jeremy suffers for it. Not to say that the other kids don't suffer as well, but most of that is on Lyoko. And I'm not saying they're not tough kids, like, clearly getting killed on Lyoko does drain them a lot, but sometimes they're still able to jump out of the scanners and into a fight in the real world too. Like, they're all pretty badass. I just wish Jeremy got more appreciation for the stuff that he does. He's not pulling crazy stunts on Lyoko, but he is doing amazing stuff in the real world, and he should be appreciated for that. He's outsmarting a supercomputer. He's hacking governments to make Alita able to live 20 years after her death. He gets her cell phone. Where did that money come from? How is the plan being paid for? Nobody knows. Jeremy just took care of it all. Do I think about this specific aspect of the series way too much? Yes. Did he get her hooked up with a bank account? Anyway. He's as smart as a man who invented time travel. Jeremy writes only on this channel. Who's with me? Thank you for listening. Code Lyoko was what introduced me to fandom when I was like 9. I saw Code Lyoko toys in a store once, and then never again, and I'm forever haunted by the fact that I own 0 Code Lyoko toys. Code Lyoko means a lot to me.
Break, dance, here we go! Break, dance, break, dance,
Oh no! What have I done?
Problem, Jeremy?
I inserted the wrong CD! What if I bought dumb videos instead of the program?